Greetings and welcome to the official Finders baseball training video. Before we begin, there are a few expectations that we have for all of our officials. The first is that you would arrive 15 minutes before game time. This ensures that you have enough time to make sure your gear and uniform is in order, as well as meet with the coaches 5 minutes beforehand. We also ask that you would call us and let us know if you're going to be late to your game time. That way we can relay the information to the coaches and they can know when to expect you. You will also need to make sure to double check the game information on Horizon before accepting the game. Horizon will display the time, date, and location of the game. Make sure that you double check these things before making a commitment. We also require that you wear the appropriate gear and uniform to your sporting event. The last thing that we expect from our officials is that they hustle. And while this does include a physical element, the larger idea is that they are engaged and attentive in the game that they're officiating. Everyone around them can tell if an official is engaged and attentive based on if they are physically moving up and down the field or court and making calls clearly, loudly, and confidently. If you are interested in working higher level age groups or another sport with us, let us know so that we can get you set up with training as soon as possible. We expect that our officials keep the commitments that they've made. If you accepted a game on Horizon, we expect you to be there. However, if you have an emergency that would preclude you from making your game, let us know as soon as possible so that we have a greater chance of finding a replacement. Let's talk about the pregame coaches meeting. This meeting should take place 5 minutes before game time and should only last about 1 to 2 minutes. Be sure that the head coaches of both teams are there, and you'll need to exchange information such as your name, the league-specific rules, time limits, mercy rules, as well as any particular field conditions or oddities that might apply to your game. Let's talk about the official umpire uniform. The official uniform consists of black athletic shoes or umpire shoes, gray umpire pants, shin guards, a black umpire belt, a ball bag as well as an indicator and plate brush, a chest protector, a mask, and an official Finders umpire shirt and umpire hat. Before the game starts, make sure that your shin guards are underneath your umpire pants, that your shirt is tucked in, and that your umpire hat is facing forward. The umpire mask is made to fit over the umpire hat while the umpire hat is facing forwards. Let's talk about the official strike zone. If you want to go ahead and get in your stance. The strike zone is the width of the plate and starting from the bottom of the batter's knees and going up to the halfway point between his armpit and his belt. For most kids, you'll need to make this a little bit bigger, adding a ball or two to the side of the plate or a little bit on the height and a little bit on the low part. Let's talk about the strike and ball calls. The ball call should be quiet and said for only the batter, the catcher, and maybe the pitcher to hear. Meanwhile, your strike call should be loud and with emphasis, so that everyone on the field can know what the pitch was called. When you are calling pitches, you will need to set up in what is known as the slot position. This is the position directly behind the catcher in between the batter. You will need to be close enough in order to see the bottom of the strike zone as well as the catcher's glove. In order to do this, make sure that your outside foot is directly underneath the tailbone of the catcher. You will also need to make sure that your head is high enough that it doesn't get obstructed by the catcher's helmet. Make sure that your chin never goes below the top of the catcher's helmet so that you can see the entire strike zone and anything in the catcher's glove.
Whenever there's a batted ball and you'll need to make a call at a base, you'll have to exit the catcher left and remove your mask with your left hand. And here we'll demonstrate.
A catch is considered complete when a fielder demonstrates complete control of the ball, and the best thing that you can look at is whether they voluntarily take it out of their glove. So you can see here, he catches the ball and he voluntarily takes it out of his glove. You can see if it enters his glove, and then if it falls out, it's not a catch, it's safe, and the player will not be out. Something that happens a lot is a player will drop the ball on the transfer. This is when they have a complete catch, but while they take the ball out of their glove, they drop it on the ground. You can see there he catches the ball, but as he takes it out of his glove, it falls on the ground. This is still considered a complete catch since there was still voluntary release even though the ball ended up on the ground. What is it that makes a ball fair or foul? There are two categories that we'll discuss, which are fly balls and ground balls. A fly ball is considered fair if it lands past first or third base on the inside of the fair-foul line. It's considered foul if it lands on the outside of the fair-foul line in foul territory. If a player is making a play on the ball is determined to be fair or foul based on where it is when the player touches it. It doesn't matter where the player's feet are or even where the ball lands after it's been touched. It only depends on where the ball was when the player touched it. For ground balls, a ball is considered fair or foul when it either rolls past the first or third base bag, when it is touched by another player, or when it comes to a complete stop. If the ball is in foul territory when it is touched, when it rolls past first or third base, or when it comes to a complete stop, the umpire will signal foul ball by putting his hands in the air and yelling foul. It should be noted that a fly ball, ground ball, or line drive that hits first or third base before touching anything else is always a fair ball. A force out is when you have a runner that is forced to go to a base, either the batter runner who has batted the ball and running to first base, or a runner on any of the other bases that is forced to move by the runner behind them. A force out is when a fielder with complete control of the ball touches the base that they are going to before them. A runner can also be tagged out by a fielder. This is when a fielder has complete control of the ball and tags the batter runner or a runner from a base with the ball while they're not on a base. So if it's in his glove, he has complete control and he tags, that's an out. However, the key element here is complete control, and if the infielder tags the batter runner or the runner with the ball and it falls out of their glove, and we go back to a complete catch and we'd say that's not complete control of the ball and he's not out. That concludes the contents of this video. Make sure that you take the quiz on the next page and get an 80% or higher. You can take the quiz and watch this video as many times as you need in order for that to happen. Good luck, and we look forward to working with you in the upcoming season.